Last video, which was my shop tour, I gave you a mission. I asked you to ask me some questions about the shop or whatever, and the response was so great from 2 people. This is just great. Proud of you guys. Anyways, let's see what we have. So the first 2 questions are coming from Quinn West, who is the man, the myth, the legend himself. We speak a little on Instagram. He does some pretty cool shit, so check him out. So he says, who or where do you get your inspiration from? I see a lot of things that feel like they could be in reference to like Tom Sachs. Oh yeah, definitely, dude. Tom Sachs was like my biggest inspiration when I started my workshop. I think you can read it really well in my early videos and in my like earlier things that I've made. Right now he still is like one of the biggest inspirations, definitely, but maybe not as big as it used to be. The second is definitely Adam Savage. I think that's quite obvious as well, especially things like shop organization or infrastructure. Definitely drawing a lot of inspiration from him. Wobby design is pretty cool too. I like jerry rig everything with his Humvee to electric conversion. That's pretty awesome, but it must be so fucking expensive. And I actually draw a lot of inspiration from people who are not related to building or making or whatever. I came from a BMX community and I still watch every video that my friends are putting out. Definitely a lot of inspiration in that. Just like the style of street sports like skateboarding or BMX. It's really my jam. And another, probably one of my biggest inspirations to make videos is actually PewDiePie. I just love this guy. I think everything he does is just super cool. I think I've seen the first video when I was 16 or 17 and I'm 25 now, which is like almost 10 years. Yeah, I've been watching him for 10 years. That's a bit crazy. Let's see what else we have. He also says, what do you do for air quality dust collection when you're sewing, welding, grinding? I'd say I don't do enough actually. Let me show you something. So I bought 2 of these huge air filters for the truck. I bought them over a year ago and they're just been sitting in the back of my shop since then, like a lot of the other things. I wanted to do like air purifying system, so I would use 2 of these air filters and kind of recirculate the air inside my shop through them, and these collect up to 1 micron of the dust particles. And I wanted to put like this ventilation motor. I've salvaged this from my last workshop that has burned down, and I wanted to put this all together and make this system, but I just never get a chance to do it. I feel like I need to get it done and maybe it will work and it will make my life better in the shop. I also hook my table saw to just a vacuum cleaner. When I'm working with metal, it's quite nasty. Like everything gets covered with black dust. It's kind of hard to clean, so I try to open the doors to allow some air circulation. And when I'm welding, I'm... where the hell it is? When I'm welding, I use these. I found those very recently. These are 3M face masks, but they're specially designed to work for welding. It's got like this rubber seal that seals around your face, very good. You can see how black it is. I've used it a couple times. Yeah. It seals very good, and the air comes out from the bottom of this, so the glasses or mask are not getting foggy. I really like this. It's quite expensive. It's 15 or like 20 euros, I can't remember right now, but it does the job. I'm definitely wearing one of these every time I weld now, and I'm not getting as much shit in my nose anymore. So this is very good. If you weld, get one of these or some other welding filters. I don't know, I like this one. Let's move on to the next one. Hello. So a Swedish friend of mine, Andre Lindholm, who built some pretty cool shit. Let me show you. Yeah, he made a CNC mill, which I think is bloody insane. Yeah, he does some very cool shit, so definitely check him out. So he says, what's the next big tool machine purchase? So since I just recently got a mini lathe and I'm kinda getting really into machining and I think it's fun. I'm still very bad, like super bad, and I'm learning, but the process is fun. So I think what naturally comes after the lathe is a mill. It is definitely in my wish list. I cannot afford it right now, but I have a space for it. So maybe someday I'm gonna get myself a big old mill. I also really want to get a big bandsaw. I once even bought a big Makita bandsaw, but it was broken. and I returned it back and I never bought a new one. So I really feel like I need one. I would like to upgrade my welder. I think my welder is about to be dead, and I want to buy a Makita plunge saw. I think I'm gonna need it pretty soon, so I'm gonna invest into one. The tools are so addictive. I don't know, it just never stops. So when you start, you buy like a jigsaw and like a cordless drill, and you think that you're good now, and after like a week, you think, I need myself a circular saw. You go and buy a circular saw, and after another week you feel like you need a plunge saw, so you go buy a plunge saw. Then you feel like you need a table saw, so you buy a table saw. Then you feel like you need a miter saw, and it never stops. It's tricky. It's tricky business and slippery road, I would say. Especially when you do like welding and woodworking and some other shit, you have to buy so much stuff, and it gets very expensive. So you just have to be ready for this, or don't start. That's my advice. Even though you didn't ask me for advice. Let's see, what else do we have? He also says, what's your dream upgrade for the shop? Oh, that's a good one, because actually I think I have one, and I'm gonna probably do it this summer to be ready for the winter. And that's going to be a proper heating system for the shop. It's actually going to be a kind of a very big build. So what I want to do is to put a heat exchanger inside my wood stove, basically like a water tank inside of a wood stove. So it would heat up the water, and the water would circulate into some radiators that I'm going to install. And I also want to install a fan coil. I'm gonna put a picture if you don't know what's that. And inside a fan coil there is a heat exchanger as well, and basically a fan, and it just blows the warm air around the shop. And what I also want to add to this system is an electric water heater. So it's going to be connected in series with my wood stove, and let's say before I come to the workshop, I can just turn on the heater from my phone using the Wi-Fi, and it's gonna warm up my shop before I come here. And what I can also do is to set the minimum temperature in this shop for the winter time, let's say like from like 3 to 5 degrees Celsius, so it's always a little bit warm, not too much, just a little bit. Doesn't really get below 0 here. When it was minus 25 outside, it got to like 1 or 0 degrees, which is pretty good. And yeah, I think this heating project is going to be super fun. I cannot wait to do it. It's quite expensive, but I think I can get it. Actually, today I was buying some aluminum, and I bought, let me show you. Come on, wakey. And I bought this piece of stainless. It's going to be, yeah, I'm gonna use it for my heating project. I'm not gonna tell you what's that for, but you're gonna see soon. So yeah, I think this is going to be it with the questions. Maybe you can drop some more in the comments, and I will answer them some other time. But for today, enough is enough. I'm gonna start filming another video for you. As always, thank you for sticking around. All my links in the description, like always, and I see you soon. Thank you. Goodbye, guys.